Good morning, and thank you for staying with us. We're wrapping up our discussion on financial markets and tech this morning on the show. And of course, Tosan has been our honorable guest over the past few weeks. It's great to have you, Tosan. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mike. It's always nice to be here.
All right, good. So I remember that the last thing we dropped off on was the emotional part, the negative parts of the emotional side when it comes to trading, and then why the bots have some sort of advantage there. But today we're mentioning, we're going to wrap up, and then we're talking about the positive sides of emotion, human emotion, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay.
So what are those pros when it comes to human emotion that can help us when it comes to trading?
Okay, so here's the truth. You're not actually going to see so much. Last week we established that AI would not prevent trade. It doesn't FOMO. And by the way, FOMO means fear of missing out. So those negative emotional, okay?
Okay, I know. I mean, I want to say that term. I see that. I hear that term a lot, and people don't understand. But you just explain for us.
Okay, it's a fear of missing out. Once the market starts going and, pumping, you just say, oh my God, why didn't I buy at this particular time? And you just end up jumping in at the wrong price. The moment you jump in, is as if the market is actually observing some people. The market just starts going down. So that's why some people say there are some market makers watching me, that the moment I enter is when the market goes down. So the market is actually created in a way to only reward a few that know what they are doing. So those negative emotional responses people have after market events is what makes them generally unprofitable as traders. AI doesn't have those. We established that last week. But yeah, we have the negative parts as well, and we have the positive parts too. So let's look at just probably one positive area.
Okay.
So humans can actually react to real-time unexpected news breaks. For example, let's take the Indian and Pakistan conflict. That happened recently. So once you hear that kind of thing, and you heard that the US was actually brokering peace, what do you think that's going to do to the stock prices? What do you think that's going to do to NASDAQ? What do you think the effect is going to be on gold? So at that point now, as a human being, once you hear that, you know that, okay, yes, it's time for me to start buying dollar assets. So at that point, if you had a robot that was actually trading for you, it's not going to consider all those things. News breaks, breaking news, it has no business. It's just going to go according to the program that you have actually set it to work on. But you as a human being, you've been able to stack up the right assets, and what happens? You did not miss out on a life-changing pump, because those things, those market movements, can actually change a lot of people's lives.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if you would like me to give a more personal example.
Yes. Very fast, as fast as you can. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Remember, I told you my team and I were designing something.
Exactly. I wanted to wrap up with that, but go ahead. You can tell us now. You can tell us now.
Okay. So here's what happened. It was performing excellently, when we put it out in the market for testing, because data is very, very important when it comes to bot trading. If it does well this week, it just might not perform well next week. So you have to have a period of time, data for maybe like 2 months, 3 months, thereabout, to be able to say, okay, yes, this system, this my edge actually works in the market. So we went ahead, we funded the account to run a 3-month test. And after 10 days, this bot actually did 120%. We were so excited. We did some withdrawals. We said, well, we have actually made it. But I woke up one morning, and I traded the London session and the New York session. And I saw one of my setups there. I was just about to take the trade. I now noticed that my stop loss is your risk level. Usually the distance between the order block and the stop loss, traders will understand what I'm saying. I realized that normally it's usually about 15 to 20 pips or ticks, depending on whether you trade futures or Forex. I discovered it was about 20. It was usually 15 to 20. Then all of a sudden, I saw that this thing was actually like 70. I just knew something was not right in the market. The volume has increased.
Okay.
So immediately I called an emergency Zoom meeting. I went to check on the bot. This bot had already gone 50% in drawdown. Why? Because it could not handle that expansion in the market.
In real time.
So it just kept buying it like this. Exactly. This is just business as usual. So normally within 2 minutes, it would probably take like 2 trades. But this time, because of the expansion in the market, it had already done like 20 trades at once. So we had to bring it down and make some adjustments. That's the most important thing about testing.
All right, wonderful. Now, let's wrap up with this. Now, you have this is still going through beta testing. You have this coming out in a bit, and you also promised to grace us with your presence when that particular bot is done. So just tell us about it. How do people get in touch with, how can they get to use that particular bot when it's ready? How do they use it to trade?
Okay, I said something, was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? I said, most times once you have something that is really great in the market, you will not be looking at getting too many people involved. And that's another way to know programs that are good and programs that are not good. Programs that are really great is usually hard to find. But trust me, you'll be the first to know as soon as it's
so it can be automated. We
yes.
started this talking about scams and all of that. That means that do you offer a service where I can just invest and say, okay, hey, Tosan, I have 10 naira, take it and put it in this bot. Maybe at the end of 6 months, give me 1 million on my 10 naira. That happens, right?
Okay, there are lots of people that actually do that, but I won't do that except I go and get registered with the SEC.
Okay.
You understand? So once I get that done, I can now say, okay, yes, I want to manage people's portfolio for them. When you see people making a lot of money, if you're making $1,000 a day and all, why do you have to stress people? Say, come and join, come and buy. Why don't you just keep on making it?
Exactly. So that brings the question that those that fight, you see them running ads asking for people to come. That means there's something about it. If they are so insistent on making people join them, if they're making so much money, why should they be so insistent on making people join them? Let's wrap up with that.
Okay, actually 2 things. First off, there's really nothing like too much money. Because when you make it to a certain level, you feel like I really need to scale, I need to make more. Now there are 2 sets of people.
Okay.
One set actually don't know what they are doing. They are just making money here and there, and they just feel like it's not enough. I have to become an influencer. Now, there's a lot of money in influencing. If I open a YouTube page now and start giving out my knowledge for free, I'll get lots of views and get paid by YouTube. If you have something that is working, most people actually keep it to themselves. But if you have a good heart like I do, just like my community, once this is done, I'll give it out to my community as well. So that they too can test it and benefit from this. But I will not do that except I'm pretty 100% sure, that this actually works. See the weaknesses, see the strengths of the AI, and with that say, okay, yes, this is actually ready for the market. And who knows, if it's really good, maybe like ICT at all, I can just throw it out there and say everybody should actually be a part of it. But for now, if you actually want a bot, it's either you learn to code or you get yourself a programmer. Now, the most important language, the most common language for coding, that's coding trading bots, is either Python, but the most common one people use is called MQL5.
Okay.
That's from the Meta Codes company. So if you cannot do that, all you just need to do is get on that platform and buy one. But I must say this, just like you have really smart human beings, there are some traders that once you just see them, they just come to the chart, they look at it and say, this is where the market is going to. You understand? And this is where you should enter. Now, many people know where the market is going to. Most people don't know where to enter. Now, there are some people that are that smart, while some other people are just average. They have the knowledge of the market, do this, do that. Then we have people that are basic as well. So in that same light, we also have bots with high capability, and we also have average bots and basic bots. Whichever you actually get, it's kind of hard to find a bot that performs beyond the average.
All right.
But once you have experience, you will know which one to go for.
All right, thank you very much. It's been quite an exposition when it comes to trading markets with you across the weeks, and looking forward to when that bot is designed to have you test run it when you're here live in the studio. Thank you very much, Tosan. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, the pleasure is all mine. Can I just say this last word, so people don't get things mixed up?
Okay, very fast. Just let's wrap up.
Oh, okay. All right. So for now, no matter the bot you decide on, you have to test it on a demo account first. You know its weaknesses and you know its strength to help it do better for you. So I will just leave you with 3 words: stay financially disciplined.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. That's it on our tech discussion this morning.